Sorry for the delay, everyone. I know you're expecting the stream about 25 minutes ago, but we had a panel of ice, or of glass, tumble its way onto the ice during warm-ups. So we get a little half-hour delayed start, little amateur rules here, warm-ups, and then go into the game. But welcome in on this Friday night. A playoff preview, seemingly, knock on wood if you're both of these teams. They are expected to meet next Friday at Princecape Arena. It's the West Virginia Mountaineers and the Robert Morris University Colonials. I'm Kaden McCrory alongside me, Andrew Keel. It's going to be really interesting between these two teams. They always play it very close. The last two times the Mountaineers have been to the RMU Mountain Sports Center, both have gone into overtime. I would not be surprised if that happens again here today.
It'd be exciting for sure, but the looming question, are we going to get delayed even more?
If you look to the left off, it'll be later on, you'll see it. There's a panel of glass that looks a little taller than the others. That is the one that broke. It is 3 panels stuck together.
Yes.
And there's a person watching it at all times. There's some bolts holding it in. But we pray to God that panel of glass does not make its way onto the ice. Of course, the players and fan safety. Yeah, players and fan safety, the number one priority. But if something happens, probably around 10:30-ish, there's a rink open right next to us, the bigger rink. So if worst case scenario, at least we can move.
Yeah.
For us, that's a lot of work to get over there, but for them, it should be a lot easier.
Yes.
West Virginia rocking their Q Country Roads jerseys as RMU going to go with the Grays. They get Corbin Ragnow back in the lineup today. Every available body for RMU in terms of skaters is finally healthy.
Yeah, it's a good boost for the last week before playoffs that you want to get everyone back in the lineup, even if it's on a little bit of a shortened leash because you don't want to aggravate anything. You want to get everyone with their skates back under them with 1 week to go until the playoffs.
West Virginia, they have Mercyhurst tomorrow, and RMU will have Mercyhurst on Sunday. They are the last 3 teams in the CHMA to finish out their schedule. Everyone else is locked in their positioning for the most part. It's IUP at 1, John Carroll 2, Kent State 3, and then this is where things get interesting. West Virginia and RMU, both with 1 win throughout the next 2 games, can clinch a spot in the 4 and 5 seed. If one team loses 2 games, they will fall to 6, and Duquesne will make their way into the 4 or 5 seed. But Mercyhurst, they have not won a game in CHMA this season. If you're looking at the odds standpoint, if you're a Mountaineer Colonial fan, you've got to be thinking this is most likely the outcome to see 2 playing on Friday night next week.
Yes.
We'll send it down now to Mr. John Tucci for a special edition of the National Anthem here on this Valentine's Day. John Tucci, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a treat to have him here to get the barn bump in, especially after that delay. Get something to get these fans riled up.
Yeah, definitely. Going to get everyone moving and grooving as we get ready for some D1 hockey. Club D1 hockey, I should say.
Each team sits 4 and 6 in the division. The Colonials lasting the Mountaineers earlier in the season. The win would give them the tiebreaker if they eventually become tied at the end of this week. West Virginia trying to leapfrog, be the home team come playoff time next week. As the top line that has been so dominant these last couple of homestands, Walker, Rorick, and Hurst battling against Danny Falzer. Puck is down, and here we go. The one back to Apud. Over to Dobransky. Sends it up ice. Down. This one will roll. They'll be icing on the Colonials just 9 seconds into this one.
I mean, if this was USA Finland last night, they'd be 2-0 already.
40 are pretty fun so far.
Yeah.
No games tonight, so you're kind of stuck watching this here
Yep.
in your hockey fix until tomorrow, when all 4 teams will square off. The rivalries of Sweden, Finland, and USA, Canada. And if you're also an RMU and WVU fan, the D3 teams will match up. In between, perfect timing. I think the 1 o'clock game is Sweden, Finland, 4 o'clock is RMU, West Virginia, and at 8 o'clock USA, Canada. There you go. West Virginia behind that puts this one in front. Patrick getting a piece of it. The ex-WVU goaltender loves going up against his former team. Hurst, drop past Rourke, a shot, and Fotopoulos gets down to make the save. Kyle Fotopoulos has been historically great against these Colonials. 2 years ago got the start and somehow kept his dangerous team into overtime. That was the Kramer-Adamski units. That was deadly.
Yeah. If you're stopping those two, I mean, sky's the limit.
He gets the nod here tonight, and a lot of faith in one of their old goaltenders. Nick Bruno will pin this one along the wall, a Pittsburgh native. Shot here from Apud, gets tipped wide by Braden Martin. Sharamonte to the point, plays catch with Finnegan. Looks for the shot, is broken up by the Mountaineers. And they moved up by Grandy. Swings it out wide to Bruno. Bruno gets bodied off hard there by Finnegan. Bruno will pick it back up behind it, over to Grandy. Sends it to the middle to Bruno. A sharp angle chance. Patrick makes the save. Rebound is taken away by Sharamonte to center ice. This one rolls all the way down. Fotopoulos will stick this one off into the corner. Colonials will change. Apud at center. Taps it for Connor Moran. And down to chase is the captain, Keith Reed. Bodies off with Brombos. Sent around by Churko. Up towards the Mountaineer bench into center. Nate Isaac will corral it. Got his first goal of the season last weekend off of a weird bounce in front of the Duquesne netminder, but good to see him get his first in his last season. Rob Byrne out wide for Reed to the middle. Has Moran. Has a little trouble with it and gets buried hard into the wall. A huge hit thrown by the Mountaineers and setting the physicality early as Moran jousting behind the play with Mason Hartz. Isaac behind the net for Byrne. Sends this one around toward the Colonial bench and kept alive by WVU. As another hit thrown as Nate Isaac gets tangled up. West Virginia is not shying away from the physicality early. To center, that one goes through Moran, and the Colonials head to the bench for some changes. Schmidt sends this one up ice. Mountaineers onside, send this to the middle. A shot, pad saved by Reno Patrick. Behind that, picked up by Thomas Karen. Sends it to the point and has some trouble with it, and Mountaineers will just send this right back in. Dobransky up for Travis Strutt. Out for Schmidt. Kohlberg applies the pressure. 2 goals in his last 2 games on the Olympic rink for number 11. 3 goals in 2025 so far. Schmidt sends this one through everybody. This one will send the distance. Finnegan will get back, and an icing on the Mountaineers.
On top of the glass being a problem in this rink, when we got here, they were fixing holes in the boards along those same wall. If we pan to the left, we might be able to see them. There's a couple dark spots on the board that we're getting fixed. So a little bit of work in progress this rink is right now.
RMU only has 2 more games on this season collectively. This is D1's last on this rink, but still, as I mentioned, D3 will be on this rink tomorrow. And then next week, guess who D2 plays? West Virginia.
Oh.
So a straight weekend, or I should say a full 7 days of West Virginia. Here's Rourke dancing in a shot and hits the helmet of Fotopoulos. And a quick whistle. And what a stop from Kyle Fotopoulos, squaring up after Rourke was looking to put on the highlight reel.
Yeah, he had that one squared up and knocks the straps off the helmet, so an offensive zone face-off for the Colonials.
Top line will stay out. Hopefully the Fotopoulos' helmet can get back. I know those straps are a pain in the butt sometimes and just fall off at the worst possible moments. Seems to be all right, and a quick win by Falzer. Sends it back for Samples. Mountaineers will swing this behind the net. Rourke applies the pressure on Bolduc, gets it up to Caden Knorr. Knorr out wide for Kosinski. Sends it to the middle of Knorr, a shot, and a save by Patrick. Picked up by Rourke. Tries to go cross ice to Hurst, broken up by Kosinski, and can send it in. Knorr and Dobransky battling. Mountaineers take this behind the net. Knorr bodied off by Finnegan. Finnegan sends this around towards the point. Bolduc can't get there, and the icing is waved off. Both teams going for changes. Corbin Ragno steps on the ice, his first time on the ice in a long time, and it's great to see after missing almost the entirety of the first half of the season. Picked up by Alejandro Apud, sends it to the middle. Sharamonti tries to dance around Brombos and is denied. Through center, Nick Bruno taps it ahead to Grandy. Grandy pressured by Ragno. Grandy walks it up high. Down low for Bruno, a shot, and rips high over the net. Mountaineers take it toward the middle. Colonials all over it and can send this one to center. Ragno for not playing in some time. First shift, almost impactful right off the get-go. Grandy sends this to Bruno. Keeps it in. Sends it toward the left side of the ice, and over there is Braden Martin to take it away. Battled by Chirico. Sends it in off the check. Brombos sends it along the wall. Byrne, just beyond the blue line, has to retreat back. And I believe they got too many men possibly here in West Virginia?
I do not know.
Yes, I think. I don't know.
Unless they're calling a Colonial offside? That's what I thought was called.
I thought that would be the exact call there, and I guess that is. I don't know if a Colonial touched it.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, it is.
Also
Our
hard to tell
angle's not
from
good.
their angle as well.
A face-off outside the zone to be won by the Mountaineers. Dan Schmidt sends this one up for Mason Hartz. Hartz works his way into the zone. Swings it up high. A shot flutters on net, and Patrick makes the save here. 14:46 remaining scoreless between the Mountaineers and Colonials.
Which the Mountaineers have seemed to have dominated most of offensive zone time. Colonials have been down in this zone maybe 2-3 times, but Mountaineers have been all over the Colonials and Reno Patrick.
There's going to be a lot more of that came from between these two. As expected, the Mountaineers and Colonials will square off in the playoffs. This one could be used as a feeling out each other game, or it could be play as hard as you can and get that seeding just in case. Shea walks it to center. Turns it over to Connor Moran. Sends this one on. Fatopoulos save. Rebound is there and pushed wide as DeVoe gets over. Back up high to Reed. Cross ice to Isaac. Isaac winds up a shot. Blocked away by the Mountaineers, and Schmidt works this to the wall. Kept alive by Draper. Sends it towards the net. It'll be skied out. Oh, almost hitting that panel. Something we got to keep an eye on. I think one touch, and that's already leading to dangerous territory off that panel. Both teams going for the change. Schmidt will lead this off for Samples, and he'll head off. Samples sends it towards Delaquandre. Be taken away by Isaac. Up ice to Travis Strutt. Strutt works his way in. Denied there by Bolduc. He'll turn up ice. Across the Colonial blue line. Bolduc sends this behind Patrick's crease. And this will be out of play. 13:30.
Good offensive zone pressure there, Colonials. Able to get a little bit of shots. But once again, it just comes right back towards the Colonials' net.
Off the draw, Bolduc puts one towards the net. Colonials get a piece of it and now can send this one out. A foot race. Hurst puts on the burners, battling with Bolduc, and Bolduc can push this one out wide as a stick got into Hurst. And now will have to make his way all the way back on sides. Rourke offsides and get bodied by Samples as Hurst takes a run at a Mountaineer as well. The after the whistle physicality starting to get a little bit more higher on that pressure meter.
Yeah, I think it's starting now. Hurst not happy, and then Rourke getting a little shove afterwards as well. Well, it's pretty tame now. It's going to get worse.
Rourke, a shot flutters in. That one rolls off the piece of Fatopoulos' glove and behind the net. Byrne keeps it in momentarily. Falzer works this around him. Byrne gets back, pushes off his man, leaves it for Dobransky. Pinned along the wall, and Walker can dig it out for RMU. Up for Rourke. Cross ice for Hurst. off his boot, negates the icing, and back is Ben Brombos. Broken up momentarily by Walker, but leads to Danny Falzer's stick. Turned over at the Colonial bench. Over for Dobransky. Had a goal in the last contest against Duquesne. Goes out for Rourke. Newest member of the 20-goal club as of last week is number 19 in gray. Rourke loses that one along the wall. Mountaineers swing this behind the net for Segley. Goes through him. Sharamonte digging. Another one of those Colonials that came off the IR the last couple of weeks. Dobransky keeps it in. Puts it on net. Petopoulos stick save. Martin gets there. Sends it behind the net. A loose puck finally taken up by Begley. And to center. Finnegan quickly up for Martin. Martin dances his way in and had Sharamonte behind him. And now the Mountaineers sprung free the other way. Finnegan lines up Grandy. Gets it right back for the Colonials. They'll take it up ice. The stretch pass for Passanante. Icing Colonials.
A very good shift there for the Colonials. The Mountaineers couldn't get it out of their own zone. Colonials just kept putting pressure in, kept intercepting everything until just there at the end. Bounces over a stick. And because it missed, that's an icing.
That new look third line with Braden Martin, Anthony Sharamonte, and Jimmy Passanante, who had some relief there from Connor Moran momentarily. All lines just seem to be clicking at the right time for the Colonials. And now getting that full lineup back is very beneficial for these Colonials down the stretch. Because there was one point this season where you had, 12 healthy skaters for D1? And now finally back to full strength. Sent in by RMU. Icing is a no. Back is Schmidt. Pressured by Draper. Goes D to D. Through the middle of the ice up for Sokol. Max Sokol across center. Into the Colonial zone. Dances through Apud. Puts it towards the middle. Behind the net, the Colonials get it back. Apud. Kicks it to his forehand. Sends it up ice for Reed. Past his stick. Mountaineers quickly play it up. Out for Dylan Shea. Shea bodied off the puck. Moran swings it up for Reed. Reed dances his way in. Puts this one into the corner. Swings it to the half circle. Up high for Apud. Couldn't get the shot off, and now springing free is Tom Karen. Karen drop pass. Looks to go backdoor, and Patrick makes the save. Moran at center. Pushes his way across center, still trying to work into the zone. 3 Mountaineers collapse on him. And now Karen takes it in. Sends it to the middle. Strutt breaks it up. Leaves it off for Dobransky, and now pushed out to Martin. Halfway point of period 1 remaining scoreless. Isaac a shot. It's off of Chirico, stays in play. Colbert sends it into the corner. Brombo's tied up with the Colonial. Out with it comes Strutt. Martin for Kohlberg. And stripped away by Chirico. Up for Dawson Taylor. Sends it off the glass into the Colonial zone. Dobransky back for Isaac. Up for Dobransky off his stick into the zone. It rolls. Chirico springs Knorr free. Knorr a shot. Patrick the save up high and holds on. A good 4 minute stretch there without a whistle.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but from my angle, it looked like that was going straight up the beam. And I don't know if it didn't at all, but the sound definitely did not sound like that metal beam. So it looked like it sounded like it stayed in.
Just the puck luck sometimes. It just has eyes be like, I don't want to go out. I just want to drop right down. And lets the play roll on and almost gives the Mountaineers a little bit of favor with the offensive zone draw. Brombos pushes this into the zone for Falzer. Dobransky pushes it out. Walker retrieves it back behind the net. Over for Nate Isaac. Isaac through center, has Walker. Into the zone come the Colonials. Walker outside, gets pressured. As digging for it, Knorr comes out victorious. Chips it off the wall for Kosinski, and Byrne quickly sends it back in. The D-to-D pass as Western U looking to set something up. Through the middle they have Nick Bruno. The top scoring freshman of this Mountaineer class. Up for Caden Knorr. Knorr walks it in. Goes for the drop pass, broken up, and a big hit thrown by Garrett Walker. Pass from Warwick to Hurst. Hurst walks into the zone. Puts that one between his legs, wants to go up high to burn, as Schmidt and Hurst battling behind the play. Schmidt takes him to the ice. No calls either way. The referees really letting the play on. You'd think they'd take both, or they take neither. This one, it's neither. Pass in front for Grandy almost goes. Colonials can clear. Angie, what do you think is going to be the point for the referees to finally call something? Is it going to be a completely obvious play, or is it something to just de-escalate?
I think it's going to be something, a little bit of both.
The quick shot on there. Patrick makes the step on Grandy.
I think it'll be something after a whistle, and everyone's involved. All 10 people on the ice are going to get involved, and they're just like, we have to take someone now because it's just ramped up to that point. I think a lot of small stuff is going to not get called until you have that big scrum.
That's the CHMA hockey in a nutshell right there. These two being some of the more physical teams in the conference. Merciers tomorrow, another one, have 3 people with 50-plus penalty minutes on the season, including fellow Plum alum John Hamlin, who's now leading the team in points. It's been a really good year for John Hamlin and Merciers. As we'll said, we'll see them tomorrow or Sunday, at 4 o'clock for Senior Day, the Colonials' last game of the season. A lot of teams in my head trying to bounce around. Moran tries to go back for Draper, blocked away by Shea, puts it right on the stick of Keith Reed. Reed on his horse, gets around one defender, is taken down. As Colonials want to call, none given. McCusker will pick it up. Across center into the zone. Draper lines him up along the wall. Now comes Patrick to play to miscue. Mountaineers take the turnover shot, and they'll score. Dylan Shea's 8th of the year off the turnover. It's 1-0 West Virginia.
A bad turnover there by Patrick, but even then, that shot, you're not making that save. The pass across just has eyes to get through everyone and right to the stick of Shea. Patrick had a chance to get across, just not one you'll see made a save on a normal basis.
Mountaineers draw first blood, and Dylan Shea, one of the other top-scoring rookies, gets on the board in this rivalry. The Mountaineers always tend to score first when these two teams meet. They said in the opener, the last 2 meetings at the RMU Island Sports Center have gone to overtime. The last 3 have been a 1-goal differential. And that third one 3 years ago, RMU scored with 1:30 on the clock to win the game. There's another stop there by Reno Patrick. I mean, kind of crazy how these two teams play here.
Yeah. Don't expect this to be a blowout. Knock on wood.
It's not what anyone wants to see.
Yeah.
It's good for the viewership, too.
Yeah.
Reno Patrick last year, if you remember, had that remarkable save where he was in no man's land, came across, and robbed his old team, and was the difference maker in the end, as Patrick with another save there off the faceoff.
Yeah. Reminiscent of the helmet save down here, but Reno's strap's a little stronger on his helmet.
Keeps the helmet buckled. One of the best-looking helmets in the CHMA is Reno Patrick. Got that done last season when he stepped into a starter role, a more consistent playing time after learning from the great Parker Rutherford and Kevin Mackey, who is now the assistant coach of this D1 Colonial squad of this year. Falzer can tap this into the zone. Patrick will let this roll past him, and icing on the Mountaineers, 6:04 here in period 1.
Quick whistle, and Colonials, you got to jump quickly. I know they've all been close, but you got to jump quickly back if you're the Colonials. You don't want this to be out of reach. You can't expect everything to go your way towards the end of the game.
Around the wall goes Chirico. You go through Kusinski, and Dobransky back for the Colonials. Sends this up to center. Rourke can slap this one in. Off the side of the net, Walker gets there first. Walker looks wide, tried to have Rourke, and a bouncing puck negates it. Here's Caden Norr settling. Moves it off the boot of a fellow Mountaineer. Up for Falzer. Gets dragged down the ice by Dobransky. Down behind the net, Norr. Battling with Isaac. Isaac takes him into the wall. Isaac pushes it out toward the corner to Schmidt. Schmidt behind the net. In front. And this one will go into the netting, and we'll get a whistle here at 5:19. Mountaineers storming again in the offensive zone.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac with a great play on that one. Able to get his stick down, get as low as possible to avoid the sauce. Blocks the pass out in front, and ends up in the netting. So the retry ends up in the netting. So a great play for him to stop the pass right in front.
Approaching the 5-minute mark to go in this first period. Knock on wood, that panel has stayed solid so far. Hopefully no more delays. Finnegan sends this off the wall for Martin. Martin through the middle. Has Sharamonte. Sharamonte steps into the zone. Holding. Takes it to the top of the circle. Elects the shot. A kick save by Fotopoulos. Mountaineers there to clean it up. Begley can sky this one to center. Finnegan bouncing puck taken away by Grandy. Grandy pushed off the puck. Puck will roll its way out into neutral territory. Mountaineers step into the zone. Back is Byrne. Behind the net for Finnegan. Quickly up for Passanante. Pass broken up. Backhand attempt. Patrick makes the save. Rebound is there. And Patrick covers up for the save. Another bad turnover, almost leading to another Mountaineer goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you got to work on if you're Patrick. Something I feel like we've said all season. He's got to work on playing the puck a little more. He plays it a lot, but has also had a lot of turnovers. Likes to rip around the boards, and the boards just aren't grateful to him, as we saw a lot in the charity game for sure.
Yes. The Mountaineer bench, Nevin DeVoe just looked to the heavens saying, how did I not put that one through? And Andrew also said earlier, there's holes in these boards. You hit it the wrong way, it's not giving, and these boards usually aren't in the first place to begin with. Here's Sharamonte steps in. That one rolls high over the net. Blue line kept alive by Draper. The Mountaineers will push this back to center as the Colonials change. Byrne will send it in. On the chase is Connor Moran, sent behind the net by Samples. The D-to-D pass now forward for the goal scorer, Shea. The middle, Byrne has a little trouble with it. Shot comes in and they'll score. Mountaineers make it 2-0 after a breakout play to perfection. And with 3:47, the Mountaineers controlling this one early.
The bad. I mean, I didn't see what happened. I was looking at the boards because a hit occurred right along that glass. I was making sure nothing bad happened. I did see after the fact Burns' stick was broken, so he was not thrilled with what happened. But
Max Sokol will get credit, his third of the year. And we apologize, I didn't have the camera angle there. The referee was in the way. There's a pole in the way, but didn't see the exact move he put on Patrick. But Sokol does get credit. It's 2-0 Mountaineers. Here with 3:40 to go, as the Colonials will look to settle down in the intermission, just try to get out of this with, either adding one or just keeping it 2-0.
Yeah. I know I literally just said you got to get one quick because you can't save all your magic to the end. But, I mean, if that's what's going to work for you, maybe play a little defense, but save the magic till the end.
Yes.
Don't go all out if you think the magic's going to save you at the end.
I don't want to reminisce on old memories again, but every West Virginia game, the third period advantage has gone to the Colonials where the Mountaineers were up. Not trying to jinx it. So then that's how the last 3 years at this rink has gone. Draper looks to turn up for Moran. Moran digging, sent it to the point for Isaac. Winds up, a shot hits off his stick floating, and a blocker, if Fotopoulos, puts it off into the corner. Moran takes this behind the net, swings it up high, wanted to read, and the Mountaineers all over it. Taylor with speed down the right wall, holds it center, sends it in, and the Mountaineers will go for a handful of changes. Patrick leaves it for Apud, sends it up ice, another turnover. This time it's pushed off into the corner. Apud takes a tumble. Walker there in his relief. To the blue line, a stutter step, and eventually a turnover. Here's Moran. With speed, Moran, the shot, stick save made. Is pushed off into the corner. Moran, battling way, gets a hold of it. Gets it off to the stick of Walker. Battling with Schmidt and Falzer. Kosinski gets it to the blue line and finally out. Walker digging, now has Hurst with them. And the Mountaineers finally can push it into the Colonial zone. Knorr takes a check. Colonials can clear this one. Up ice to Hurst. Has some room. Hurst walks it in. Drop past Walker. Walker wanted Rourke. A little miscue from the top unit. To the point. Dobransky keeps it in. Dobransky winds up a shot. Rolls off a boot of a Mountaineer. Falzer tries to get it out. Knorr in relief. Backs it to Schmidt. And the Mountaineers can clear this to center. 1:35. 2-0 West Virginia. Home run pass to Rourke is tapped in. And the Colonials now off to chase. Martin sends it in front. Wanted Rourke. Mountaineers lay down to make the block. Bolduc dances around Martin. Takes it across his own blue line. Up the wing it goes to Begley. Cross ice pass. Bolduc leaves it off for Grandy. A shot and a stick save by Patrick. Behind that, Finnegan will hold to his forehand. 1 minute to go here in period one. Across center. Swings it out wide to Martin. Martin, a high shot, rolls over the net. Down to Finnegan. Sends this behind the net. Finally got his first even strength goal of the season at Kent State, and a big one at that. Down the other way, Mountaineers with speed. Bruno takes this behind the net, waiting. Sends it over off the stick of Begley. Dobransky beats him to it and pushes it out. Dobransky into the zone, out wide for Sharamonte. Sharamonte winds up in a save. Rebound is there. Dobransky puts it on. Fotopoulos covers up. And with 26.9, one of the best chances the Colonials have had in quite some time.
That is indeed one of the best chances. I mean, Colonials have been out-skated this whole game. Mountaineers been going up and down the ice, skating circles around them. I mean, they've had their chances. The Colonials need to get something going in maybe the last 25, but definitely in the last two periods.
With a quick whistle, that one will go right into the stands, and the fan was waiting right there to give it right back. So no new puck. Redo. Perfect win. Reed to burn through a screen, and Fotopoulos makes the save as Moran tried to claw his way in front of that net. The setup was perfect, but Fotopoulos even better. They'll redo it from the right circle. Hartz and Reed. Reed does it again to the point to burn. Waiting. Puts one on. Kick save. Fotopoulos through Moran in front of his blue paint again. 10 seconds to go in the period. One final rush. Draper spins it up for Moran. Leaves it off for Reed. 5 seconds now on the entry. Reed a shot. And it rolls wide of the net off the glove of Fotopoulos. And Byrne tries to put one last shot on. And what a stop. Fotopoulos makes the save, and the puck has eyes through the blue paint and wide.
That's what you call a bounce in the wrong direction for the Colonials, is that one could have been a huge, not dagger, but a huge spike right in the back of the Mountaineers, who played really well all period. Going in with a 2-0 lead. Could have been 2-1 if that puck just bounced on one different edge.
To the dressing room they go. Kyle Fotopoulos perfect through one as the goals go to Dylan Shea, his 8th of the year, and then followed up by Max Sokol, his 3rd. 15 minutes on the intermission clock. We'll be right back with the second period of Mountaineers and Colonials just after this. Second period to go here from the Olympic Ice Arena. Mountaineers up 2-0 as we start this second period. Goals from Shea and Sokol in period one, and a phenomenal period from the goaltender at the other end now, Kyle Fotopoulos. As the battle for that 4 and 5 seeds rails on between these two. I'm Caden McCrory, alongside me, Andrew Keel. Here's the Colonials. Had a late chance from Keith Reed. Hits off the glove of Fotopoulos and wide as Finnegan puts one on. A chance that almost changed the trajectory of this game, and we all thought it was in for a second, but the blue paint puts it just wide to end the period. The top line back out for Coach Joseph. Mountaineers go D to D. Knorr rolls off his stick. Apud back. Plays it for Finnegan. Back for Apud. Gets around one man. puts it toward the wall to Hurst. Sends it off the Mountaineer bench, and it rolls to center. The Mountaineers can send this one back in. Apud for Finnegan. Quickly up ice for the stick of Rourke. Rourke tries to go to the top of the circle. That's stripped away from him. Mountaineers send this one all the way around. And now to center. Sent in as Finnegan lines his man up. Patrick comes out to play it, leaves it for Apud. Around for Hurst. Hurst to his own blue line, up to center. Gets it picked away. Mountaineers bring 2 up. Grandy sends it to the middle. Battling with 3 Colonials, they take it away, and now Martin leads the rush the other way. On the right wall, sends it on net. Stick save, Fotopoulos. Brombos plays it off the back wall. Rourke almost picks up. Byrne winds up a shot. Stretching save by Fotopoulos. Rob Byrne sends one into the corner. Isaac gets to the blue line. Sends this one around. Through Rourke. Up for Byrne. Waiting. Sends it around once more. Underneath for Martin. In front. Turning shot, Sharamonte. And getting the boot across for the Mountaineers. As this one will go off the wall and sent back in. 17:53 here in period 2.
That one, no doubt where that one went off is earlier in the first period. We had a little magic trick as it seemed like it was going to go off the pole and ended up staying off the glass. That one clearly off the Sapporo flag.
1972. As Fotopoulos, an equipment issue, seems to be all right, and we'll continue on. A one-draw by Draper sent into the corner. Behind the net, we picked up by Schmidt, sends it up to center. Draper retreats back for Byrne. Up for Moran. Tries to chip it in. Mountaineers all over it. Sent forward by Nick Bruno. 3 Colonials collapse on him. Bruno gets the shot away. A stick stop by Patrick. Isaac over for Reed. With speed, sends it out wide for Draper. Draper winds up a shot. High save there by Fotopoulos. Rebound is there off the side of the net. Moran digging. Still loose in front as Draper puts one towards the net. And now a skirmish in front as Draper and Reed get tied up. Reed throws a man to the ice. And that was the boiling point that you mentioned earlier, Andrew, where
and it's happened.
It's not all 10.
First call.
It's close enough. As Reed off to the box. And not very happy as well as DeVoe. And we'll see how they separate. As they'll head to the Colonial bench to explain.
I do believe it'll be 2 offsetting and an unsportsmanlike for Reed.
We saw the unsportsmanlike, and that's what I think Reed was really upset about on his way to the box. I would not be surprised there, Andrew, if you're correct with the 2 coincidentals, as Ragno will make his way into the box to serve the other penalty. So the Mountaineers should come out with a power play out of this. As the first calls of the game, just 3 minutes into the second period. The draw should stay in the West Virginia zone, if I'm not mistaken here.
That's where it's going,
Yep.
So pretty good eyesight from you. It is far away.
It's 4-on-4.
It's 4-on-4, so the unsportsmanlike won't count as a penalty. He just sits for 5 minutes, I'm pretty sure, or 10, depending on how they call it.
We'll wait for Phil Bachenski to see what they decide to call, but 4-on-4. A lot of open ice for these skill players to make work. And to no one's surprise for your Colonial fan, Rourke and Hurst, the 2 forwards. Off the change, the Mountaineers try to hit a man off the bench. Dobransky back for RMU. Pins it against the wall. Dobransky leaves for Rourke. Rourke dropped for Hurst. 1:30 here on the 4-on-4. Hurst for Dobransky. Dobransky walking in. It's thrown to the boards. Off angle seems to be okay. Hurst keeps it in, turns it over. Mountaineers sprung free for a 2-on-1. Shot comes in off the stick of Finnegan and into the netting. 1:14 of 4-on-4. Andrew, did you get all the calls?
I did hear the call. 2 for roughing each, but Reed will be sitting for a grand total of 10 minutes with a 10-minute misconduct.
Oh.
For unsportsmanlike.
So without the captain, at least until around the 7-minute mark of this game, plus a whistle, will be playing without their second line forward and captain. A big loss for the next 10 minutes for the Colonials. Mountaineers shot there. Hits a piece of Knorr in front, or Falzer, excuse me. Walker sends it behind for Finnegan. Gets by the way by Falzer. Up to the point. Goes D to Bolduc. Bolduc winds up, looks for the deflection. Byrne there to block it away. Byrne holds this in the corner. Now will take up ice. 45 seconds of 4-on-4. Sends it in and hits off the wall. Down low, quickly up for Moran. Moran walks in a shot. Saved by Fotopoulos. Rebound Moran. Takes this off into the corner. Behind the net for Walker. Walker across for Moran. Fotopoulos down and out. Makes the save. And the net comes off. 27 seconds now, 4-on-4.
I don't know how that puck did not go in the back of the net. Seemed like a wide open net. Fotopoulos just diving across, knocking everything off. It looked like his straps came off, the net came off, everything came off as he dives across to make that save. I don't know where it hit either.
It's always the tough angle we have down here. It's that far end. It's not like the rink next door that, knock on wood, we do not have to go to at some point today, where it's in the middle of the ice. Regardless, Fotopoulos keeping it out again has been perfect through these first 25 minutes. Burns sends it underneath for Finnegan. Stripped away by Knorr. Knorr looking for the man in front. Waiting. Gets it off to Bruno. Backhands it on net. And Patrick makes the save. 7 ticks of a 4-on-4 and a Colonial down as Finnegan slow to his feet.
Finnegan took a cross check at the ribs behind the net. Toughed it out to keep the play going. Made a good defensive play almost on that one. As he was struggling to get back to the front of the net.
We'll get off to the bench on his own power. Just a little labored over, but seems to be okay. Bruno against Martin. Bruno wins it. Shot comes in from the point, bouncing. And Patrick gets across to make the save. That puck had eyes. But Patrick there with 1 tick now on the 4-on-4.
This will be something to look out for. As a good thing for the Colonials is they don't have to worry about closing the door behind them because Reed will be in the box.
Back to even strength as Ragno steps on the ice. Applies the pressure, Passanante. Digging with Bruno. Bruno puts it off the boot of Apud, leaves it forward for Martin. Across center, swings out wide to Passanante. Mountaineers there and send it in. Out comes Patrick. Gets it around Grandi, over for Ragno. Gets it to the blue line, sends it in. Looks for the stick of Passanante. A diving Mountaineer breaks it up. West Virginia gets it to the blue line, now across center with speed. Grandi looking for Bruno. Gets it to him across one more time, no one home. Passanante plays it off the back of the net. Up for Corbin Ragno. Gets it to the blue line, sends it in behind the net, looks for Martin. Martin, a turning shot, is blocked away there. Second attempt puts it on, and Fotopoulos will cover up with Ragno parked in front.
So far, this period, it seemed to have flipped from how the first period was. Colonials have a lot of possession. A lot of it's been in their own zone, but they still had a lot of possession with the puck. The Mountaineers, a lot of their chances have been coming off the rush as opposed to getting some zone time. Seems to be the complete opposite of how that first period went.
Quick shot off the draw to Bransky from Moran in front. That one goes through the blue paint and wide. West Virginia on the entry. Sokol leaves it off. A hit there by Draper breaks it up, and now Moran with some speed. Into the Mountaineer zone, down the right wall, a backhanded shot. Rolls into the far corner, up to the point now to Finnegan. Down for Moran. Moran walking in, leaves it for Draper. Draper muscles one towards the net. Mountaineers will sky. This one is knocked down to the point to Dobransky. Dobransky's shot is blocked away. West Virginia turning. And to center, Finnegan has a little trouble with it, and now can backhand this out of the zone. Sharamonte on the dump in. Out comes Fotopoulos to play it. Sharamonte gets there first. Mountaineers will meet him. He can send this off the high glass to neutral territory. Knocked down by Martin with the glove. Sends it into the Mountaineer zone. Colonials changing. Mountaineers will hold behind their own net. Looking for some open space. Martin tied up with a West Virginia forward along the blue line. Pass is good into the zone for Delaquandre. Finnegan there on the wraparound. Sends it up for Strutt, broken up. To the point, a shot. Rolls through some traffic and wide. West Virginia takes it underneath. Taylor's there. Block shot by Finnegan. Taylor underneath once more. The give and go off the back of the net. Taylor not there to it. Defense has to step down. Bolduc off the boot of Finnegan. Gets his own rebound. Bolduc backpedaling. Sends it off the glove of Dobransky. Dobransky walks it up ice. Up for Strutt. Sent quickly back in by West Virginia. Finnegan holding. Up for Kohlberg. Kohlberg gets it muscled off his stick. West Virginia gets tied up in front of their own net. Buck can get the clear, and now the change. 12 minutes to go here in the second. West Virginia still holding on to a 2-0 lead that they had in the first period. On the dump in, first to it is the Mountaineers. Kosinski waits behind his net. Looks for reinforcements, has Knorr in front. Goes to the point. Kosinski underneath the Knorr. Knorr gets it to the slot. A chance there, bounces off the stick of Falzer, and Dobransky can clear this up for Hurst. Hurst on the dump in. Out comes Fotopoulos to play it. Mountaineers take this underneath. Sent through the middle of the ice, pass and Byrne. A foot race. Patrick will come out to play it. Plays it behind his own net. Over for Nate Isaac. Rourke. Stretch pass to Hurst. Hurst waits at his own blue line. Goes through the middle. Wanted Rourke. And West Virginia can clear to center once again. The first line's been quiet offensively, and they're trying to get something going. Walker racing. Couldn't keep it in. Caught in the skates of Knorr. Walker can take it away. Back for Isaac. Quickly up to Byrne. Byrne in the middle to Rourke. On the entry, Rourke dances to the outside. Goes for the shot. A glove save. Fotopoulos as Hurst drags a man down in front. The net comes off its moorings once again. 10:43 in the second period.
Yeah, I didn't know what the whistle was for originally. Maybe didn't look like the net was really fixed. I mean, Christopoulos touched it for a little bit, but almost like the puck went into the netting as opposed to the net coming off.
That net comes off so much. You can also, like I said, our distance, you can't really tell, but that's been a common call down in that corner, no matter what goalie it's been. And that's just a testament to how bad the pegs are in this rink. We've said that time and time again every time we play here. West Virginia offensive zone chance. Grandy off the give of Falzer. Sent down in front. A deflected shot hits off the stick of Bruno, and Ragno can tap this to center. Rob Byrne sends this off the boards towards Nate Isaac. Can't get the clear. Stepping up is Bagley. Tries to go across. A diving effort from Byrne. Breaks it up. Ragno on the push into the zone. He comes. A left-handed shot. Puts one towards the net and wide. Martin there on the retreat. His shot goes off the end wall and all the way around. Lapoud at center can send this one in. Behind the net, Schmidt waits patiently. Mountaineers getting some offensive changes. As onto the ice comes Shea, the one that opened up the scoring today. Sends it up for Bruno. Tapped into the zone for Grandy. Grandy, a shot. Goes off the end wall. To the point and muscled out by Passanante. Sends it over to Moran. Moran on the entry. Out wide, a quick shot thrown on by Draper and drags a Mountaineer down with him. And 9:17 here in the second.
A good snapshot. I mean, Christopoulos wasn't even still in his slide by the time that puck came to him, so he had to get his glove up quickly. But a great save by him to get the glove up and make the save, stopping the Colonials from cutting the lead.
Offensive zone draw with Reed still in the box for another 2 minutes or so. They're just kind of shuffling the best they can, and that's where a person like Corbin Ragnar back in the lineup becomes so beneficial to get that playing time before playoffs. On the entry, a shot by Shea, and this time Patrick says no with the shot in front of him. 9:04
Probably around 1.5 to 2 minutes left until Reed is set free.
Mountaineers face off win. Shea sends it underneath for Sokol. Sokol muscles in front off of Apud, and Patrick gets down for the stop. And Shea in passing, having some fun with Moran and Draper. And the referee in to break it up. Colonials will change.
The game's not going to get much cleaner from here.
Oh, no.
But we always say it's going to get worse, and then it
doesn't.
It does.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Most of the time it does. It stays clean, and then we look stupid.
Exactly. It's just the commentator's jinx at its finest. Do we want physicality? Of course we do. This is pretty much playoff hockey. Finnegan muscled down behind that by Sokol. Apud digging. Eventually taken out by the Mountaineers. Hartz over for Shea. Into the slot, a quick shot. Finnegan there on the block and can clear. And Finnegan muscling Sokol down to the ice. There's been a lot of that. Just behind the play, just a little hashing, slashing, throwing some guys to the ice. Borderline WWE here. Apud sends one off the referee into the Mountaineer zone. West Virginia can clear. A foot race back is Finnegan, and will get the icing 8 minutes exactly in the second period.
Reed still sitting in the box for at least another minute and a half. We'll have to see how things go when he comes back, as the Colonials have done a good job of not letting things get worse while he's sitting in there.
It's always hard when one of your guys is off for a full 10 minutes. But having him back is only a beneficial piece, as he's been throughout his 4-year career. Has only missed one game throughout his entirety. That's a game he looks back on and says, you know what, I could have just played one shift and just sat. The Mountaineers can clear. This one goes the length, and a second straight icing on West Virginia gets that clock a little closer to Reed's return now, 7:35.
Mountaineers trying to sneak a couple people on, saying, no, we were on, we just got off.
Mind games on these referees, unsuccessful. Sometimes you can get away with at least one. And that's all the difference is Isaac puts a shot on, a save from Fotopoulos. Dobransky winds up through traffic, and Fotopoulos reads it as Walker hangs his head as he tried to get that deflection.
Couple good shots there from the Colonials. Fotopoulos playing strong halfway through this game already.
Behind the plate, as the Mountaineers were changing, Draper getting mixed up with, I think that's McCusker on his way to the bench. So a battle of 17s to keep an eye on as this game continues. Lining up his check is Sharamonte. Man that plays with a lot of passion on the ice. Dobransky, sends it in off a Colonial offsides. And outside the zone, this will come. If you're Keith Reeves, and they're like, come on, can we just play a little, minute stretch here?
Every last couple whistles has been within at least 15 to 20 seconds, so the last 2 minutes have gone by in about 20.
Yeah. I feel like in the penalty box as well, that time just goes a lot slower for you. Dobransky can send this one in. As behind the net, the Mountaineers play this to the corner. Norm, muscled off by Draper. Isaac puts one into open space. Mountaineers there and can clear. Dobransky off the wall for Moran. Moran muscles it into the zone. Mountaineers block it, and will turn it up to center. Dobransky there to take it away. Pass the way onsides Colonials. Off to Moran, a shot. And a deflection from West Virginia can send it into the netting.
Reed looking like he's getting his helmet on now. So
closer.
He's got to expect it soon. It will be at least within the next 20 seconds, I believe. Because I know it was 16:30 when we commented on it last. When I looked at the clock last.
Somewhere around that.
It'll be within the next 30 of game time, which could be another half hour.
Possibly the way this last little stretch is going, probably. Mountaineers can clear, almost clear. Bolberg keeps it alive, sends it towards the net. Mountaineers read it. As Nick Bruno will hold. Goes D to D. Sends it through the middle of the ice. Byrne momentarily breaks it up. Sent in now by Grandy. Cross ice looking for Begley. Begley winds up, looks for the Bruno deflection. Hits off a Colonial and wide. Grandy gloves it down, goes for the shot. Begley parked in front, but Patrick makes the save. As Reed awaits. Looks like not there yet.
Not quite. Must have had our times wrong.
Maybe.
Maybe it was 15:30 that I noticed.
Close enough, right? Top unit on. Walker, Hurst, and Rourke. One by Walker all the way back for Byrne. Gets his pocket picked by Bruno. Sends it into open space. Grandy holding. Elects the shot. Rings one off the post. Second chance, Patrick the save. Third chance is cleaned up by Rourke. Goes for Hurst. Hurst with room for the shot. Glove save, Fotopoulos. And the goaltending highlight reel continues to grow bigger and bigger.
That was an immaculate save by Fotopoulos. Hurst sprung free along that wall. Just had to pick his spot and couldn't pick it any better, I'd say. Well, he could have picked it better, but had a perfect placement as Fotopoulos had to make an incredible glove windmill save on that one.
Fotopoulos this year 6-7 at .367 goals against and a .906 save percentage. I'm sure that number is, if you narrow it down to just RMU in the career, probably looks a lot better than that. Walker for Hurst. Up for Rob Byrne. Byrne sends it down below the net here for Walker. Stripped away by Bolduc. Bolduc has Walker behind him. Gets this one to center. Back is Finnegan. Banks it off the wall. Up for Rourke. Rourke down the right wall. Sends one on. Save there. Rebound was there momentarily. And finally Fotopoulos covers up. And Keith Reed is finally set free.
Finally set free. See, he will not get the first shift back after sitting for 10 minutes. Has to sit a little longer before he can get some ice time.
Get the lines back in check here.
Yeah.
Ragno, Martin, Passanante, the unit out now. Passanante, another goal against Kent State. And finally got his first apple. Doesn't look like he's a puck hog anymore. 5 goals on the season, 1 assist. Off of Byrne in front, can get this over to Passanante. Holding, sends it up now for Byrne. Makes a move at center, pushes it off the wall forward for Martin. Martin battling with Brombos. Sends it off the glass, takes a Mountaineer bounce. Apud has some trouble with it, now can keep it in. Brombos underneath, around for Chirico. Sent to center. Stepping up is Finnegan and gets some contact on Karen. Backhand attempt from Taylor. Sent off the wall. Chance. Apud gets a piece of it. Up to the point. Dancing is Brombos. Spins it down low. Underneath. Leaves it for Taylor. Underneath for Falzer. Falzer, or Della Quadri in front for Taylor digging, and this one rolls wide. Karen battles with Ragno. Can sky this one to center. Back are the Mountaineers. Has a little trouble with it is Knorr. Both teams going for changes. Pass goes off a Mountaineer stick. As, the glass shook a little there. Everyone kind of held their breath for a moment. Reed first shift on and lays a big body in open space. Apud for Finnegan. Quickly up to Moran. Has some trouble at the blue line. Now can send it in. Mountaineers will regroup. Knorr banks it into the zone. Back are both defenders, Finnegan and Apud. Perfectly played Apud. Up ice, past Reed. Mountaineers hold at their own blue line. Turnover, Moran. Holding. Across for Reed and getting a piece of it with a diving Mountaineer. Reed walks it up high for a shot and goes through traffic and wide. Isaac underneath for Moran. Mountaineers corralling. Getting away from Draper. Banks it off the glass. Apud holding at center. Drags a man down with them. And down to the ice as Apud getting roughed up and trying to get away from Schmidt. And a penalty coming up here to, I believe, Apud for holding onto that puck.
Yeah, held on to it a little too long. Don't know if it got stuck in his glove or was just trying to wait for a man to pass him and then drop it.
This looked like there's contact as soon as he caught the puck. And at that point, it's almost like the Mountaineers, I think, just played it perfectly. We're like, no, you're not dropping this. You're getting the penalty here. I think it was incidentally on purpose on West Virginia's behalf.
Yes.
But regardless, the Mountaineers head to their first power play of the game, as Coach Joseph not too happy with the call, as he is in his office having a chat with one of the referees. The penalty, of course, will always stay on the board. Bruno against Reed on this faceoff. Reed wins it back to Dobransky, goes for the clear, and the Mountaineers get a piece of it. Will hold at the blue line. Bolduc walking, gives it across for the captain, Knorr. Knorr stripped by Isaac. Sends it up for Sharamonte. Short-handed unit has some speed to their game. Sharamonte, a shot. Goes high over the glass. This will bounce all the way down to Bransky. Will elect to stay back. Knorr on the entry. Out wide to Bagley in front. Taken away by Grandy and cleared to Bransky. 30 seconds gone on the Apud penalty. Getting a couple changes are the Colonials. Mountaineers hold behind the net. Walker gets a piece of it. Mountaineers now continue up ice. Out for Nick Bruno. Bruno takes this behind the net. Swings it all the way up to the half circle down low to Grandy. Crossing with Bruno. Leaves it off to the point. Bolduc fakes the shot. Goes off of Dobransky and can get the clear. Two Colonials down in front of Patrick. As Walker and Isaac back to their feet. Fotopoulos out to play it, and West Virginia gets the second unit onto the ice. 45 seconds of power play time. Cross center. Into the zone. Sokol sends it up high. Mountaineers working their way down low now. Hold it. Files it. To the point to Sokol. Goes up to the point. A shot deflected wide. Falzer now with 15 seconds on the clock. Underneath the Hearts. Hearts faking. Works his way up high again. Up to the point. Shot through traffic. Patrick gets a glove on it. 7 seconds now. Dobransky muscling. Takes it into the wall. And 2 seconds and one. They get the kill. Out of the box comes Apud. They tried the stretch pass. And an icing. A little too far in front of Apud there. Almost a perfection play by Dobransky killing off the clock.
Coach Joyce unhappy about the call, as he believes the shot was taken before Apud was even out of the box.
You can argue that. I'm not sure. You'd have to probably go frame by frame to figure that out. But I think you have close enough to at least have an argument here.
Yeah.
43.7 here in this second period. 2-0 West Virginia, scoreless in this period between the two hockey clubs. Dobransky out for Moran. As we approach 30 seconds, Moran sends this behind the net. Draper gloves it down to himself, works it to the point. Walker winds up a shot through traffic, stopped by Fotopoulos, down to 20. As that one will roll on net, Fotopoulos makes a save, and Moran with some contact, and the Mountaineers will meet him with 18.7 to go.
Seems like Colonial is banking on some third period magic, as they always do against this team.
I don't know what it is about the third period, the Colonials and Mountaineers, but it's must-see TV. That's as much as I can tell you. Any two-goal game going in the third is must-see TV. Rourke, a shot deflected by Hurst. Rebound is there, and Fotopoulos somehow keeping it out again. Some Mahomes magic for Kyle Fotopoulos. Finnegan makes the check. West Virginia wanting a call, none given. Rourke clears it up high as Hurst gets dragged to the ice as the clock hits all zeros. A scoreless second with the Mountaineers take it to the dressing room 2-0.
Yeah. A very interesting period because it seemed like the Colonials were dominant, and then it seemed like the Mountaineers were dominant, and then it seemed like the Colonials were dominant, and it wasn't like a normal back and forth where it's every 2 minutes. It seemed like it was every 8-9 minutes the possession would kind of switch.
This third period is really going to be something, isn't it?
Yes.
Mountaineers and Colonials. We have 12 minutes on the intermission clock. That's not what we're used. It's usually 15. They're not giving us a break here. Well, not much is what I should say.
They're telling us to get off the ice early.
Oh, definitely. So, in about 11 minutes or so, the third period of West Virginia and RMU will continue. We'll see you in about 11 minutes. Third period of play between the Mountaineers and Colonials. Coming out to some Jimmy Eat World, the old NHL soundtracks. I think that's the right way to get this third period started.
Yes, it is. It's expected to be an interesting and action-packed third period.
I don't know how many times I have to say this. The last 3 contests here in the home ice have been a 1-goal contest. Right now, it's a 2-goal game. Will the shutout continue for Kyle Fotopoulos? Will the third straight overtime happen between these two teams? Will the physicality pick up? That's the fun questions to answer in the next 20 minutes.
Well, you said both buzzwords, so I think the jinx is in.
Everyone is mad at me right now, and that's okay. I want this to be a competitive hockey game. That's what it's been so far. Can we hold it for another 20? And then boil over to a great playoff game next Friday night.
Yes.
That's exactly what everyone wants.
If.
There's the if. Merciers can play spoiler to either one of these teams over the next 48 hours. Duquesne only beat them 4-1. Mercier's looking for vengeance on both these guys, especially after the charity night for RMU that happened in early January. As Coach Joseph opening up this period in his little area we call the office, having a chat with the referees. There are some calls towards the end of the period the Colonials are not in favor of. I mean, just know how sometimes it gets between these two, what gets called and what doesn't.
Yes.
We finally saw the first penalties of the game happen in the second period, but the score remains the same as we enter the third. Both teams up to their benches, and the puck is down for the third period. As off the glass this one goes, almost toward the bad pane, luckily not, and now into the zone comes Rourke. Rourke waiting, winds up shot, shoulder, saved by Fotopoulos. Picked up by Kosinski. Sends it up off the stick of Knorr. Knorr dancing his way in. Puts this one in front of Patrick's crease. He'll get down and make the save. 21 ticks gone in this third period.
We did see during intermission that pane of glass did get worked on a little more, so hopefully it's fully structural sound, as unlikely as that it sounds.
And, of course, we said the D3 versions of both these teams play on this rink tomorrow. So hopefully that pane will be fixed for those guys by 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time.
As well as any youth games that happen before
right.
that.
There's a lot of youth games that happen in the morning, so hopefully it's all right for them. There's a lot of work to be done on that pane. So probably another reason why the intermission clock was a little shorter. Because they're paid hourly here. They're not doing as much overtime. Byrne. Over for Finnegan. Both teams changing. Finnegan ricochets this one around the top of the glass. Over for Martin. Gets stripped away by Nick Bruno. Former Murraysville deck hockey legend, as some say. One of the fastest players I've ever played with and against. Say on the against side, not very fun. Passanante sends it forward for Sharamonte, broken up by the Mountaineers. Sharamonte recollects at center, over for Nate Isaac. Isaac sends it in off of Bruno's glove, gets towards the Mountaineer blue line and pushed back into the Colonial zone, icing West Virginia.
That was a bad hit that Isaac took. Didn't see it to the last second and then got crunched into the boards. He just kind of flings it into middle ice.
Seems to be okay, though. As RMU already short on defense and only running 5 the rest of the season, unless they want to move someone back. Top unit on, Walker with Hurst behind him. Runs it to the corner, and the Mountaineers can bank this one out of the zone. Isaac gets that stripped away by Grandy. Puts it to the slot. Shot comes in by Bruno. And Dobransky getting the block as well as Patrick with the save to follow. Up ice for Rourke. Rourke dances his way in, puts it to his forehand, tries to go upstairs and push wide. Kept alive by Hurst. Bruno there for West Virginia. Sends it towards their bench. and can clear it to center. Dobransky taps it for Hurst, quickly up for Rourke. Rourke can't get around Bruno. Bruno to clear. Hurst there to block it away for the Colonials. Off the block, this one will go all the way down. Patrick comes out to play it. Rio Patrick leaves it off for Nick Dobransky. Mountaineers changing. Dobransky gets it to center, into the zone. Sends this one behind the net. DeVoe sends it around to the point. Reed winds up a shot. Deflected and rolls all the way behind the net over to Shea. Cross-ice pass hits Sokol. Both goal scorers on the ice for West Virginia. Finnegan muscles it. Taken away by Shea. Shea backhand shoulder stop by Patrick. Behind the net. Mountaineers swing this one up high. Taylor waiting. Sends it down low. One-time chance is fanned on. And Patrick will come out of the crease to play and stop it. 16:57.
Patrick slid a lot on that one. Ice is very much still wet.
Yes.
Early in this period. If he doesn't get a glove on that, that one's squeaking right back through him, and he is almost in the corner as that puck squirts into the slot if he doesn't get a glove on that.
There's seemingly no time for it to settle, too. Because the Zamboni was off the ice at, 1:30? Close to 2 minutes, and then onto the ice comes everybody. So usually there's about 6 minutes before you take the ice, so still a little wet for everyone involved. At center, the Pood gloves this one down, gives it off to Draper. Draper shot, rings high, rebound, comes out to Moran, to the point to Lapood. Lapood for Finnegan. Finnegan sends this behind and all the way around for Reed. Reed for Moran. Moran turning shot, rebound for Reed, and pushed wide of the net. The captain almost with a second grade A chance. Finnegan gets it stripped away. Mountaineers holding at their own blue line. Will send it into the Colonial zone. Lapood knocks it down. And quickly sent in by Falzer. Mountaineers go for the 5-man change. Finnegan dances his way up ice across the blue line, leaves it off for Reed. Reed holding, winds up shot, blocked away as Falzer getting a piece of it. Gets it up to Caden Knorr. The captain takes it in. Knorr puts one off the crossbar. Sharamonte can send this into the Mountaineers zone. Back is Knorr. Plays it up to Samples. Gets hit hard by Ragno at the blue line. Colonials offsides. This puck will work its way to center. Falls up. Looks to the point. Does Samples. Samples winds up. Ricochets off the glass behind Patrick. Byrne with the block. Sends this one all the way down to the Mountaineers zone. Colonials get a couple of fresh troops on. Back is Byrne. Around for Isaac, pickpocketed, and eventually ends up on the stick of Martin. Goes for the pass. Had Hurst waiting at the blue line. Patrick makes the save, fakes the handoff, and will keep it. 14:51.
A little bit of a dangerous shot there. I don't know if Patrick thought that was coming, as he was not ready. That one just hits him straight in the chest.
Top unit fully on now. They wanted that home run play to Hurst moments ago. They try to open up the ice more for this top unit. Rourke, they give it to Hurst. Banks it off the wall for Rourke. Rourke in open space. Into the zone he comes. Swings to the outside. Alexis shot. Rebound comes out to Walker. Fotopoulos getting across again. Another phenomenal save for number 29.
Almost looked like the Colonials wanted to go back where he was, hoping he would overskate that one. And just barely still in position from the first shot. Gets the tip of his skate on it.
Rourke quickly up to Hurst on his backhand glove. Save. And Fotopoulos holds on. What a game for the West Virginia netminder.
Yeah, an incredible game. Able to stretch out just far enough to keep his skate on that one after the shot was coming towards, where he was. Which, if you're holding up for that long and he's sliding across, might be a good idea, but long legs.
Yeah. Seemingly no answers so far. West Virginia will bank this off their board, skating into the zone with some speed. The shot comes in, blocked away by the Colonials. Bouncing puck, Kohlberg didn't realize where it was. Mountaineers can send it quickly back in. 6 minutes gone here in period number 3. Up for Travis Strutt. Gets it to center. Sends it into the zone. Will skate this one down. Back is Schmidt. Sends it off the wall. Martin's there at center. Just throws it back in. Colonials on sides can go on the chase. DeVoe. Up for his man in Hearts. Spinning. Gives it around. Looking through the middle to Vransky with the block. Tic-tac-toe play in front. Pad save by Patrick. Rebound still loose. Colonials can play it off to the wall. And now Reed with some steam. To center. Negates the check. Gives it forward to Apud. Apud holding. Across for Reed. The pass behind him. And kept alive at the blue line by Draper. Moran gets taken down in the process. Forward pass up to Shea. Trying to dance his way in. Nate Isaac having none of it. Apud. Almost a turnover. That led to another possible grade A chance. Cause of that first goal. Shot from the point. Ricochets off the glass and all the way to center. This one will go. Bolduc at center. Leaves this one off the pass. Bolduc backhand in front. Patrick gets down and will make the stop. Here at 12:27, time slowly dwindling away here for the Colonials.
I don't know if you saw earlier, Draper pounding a guy behind Patrick in the Colonials net as the puck is at the red line. So lucky to not get a call as the Mountaineer player. I didn't see who it was that was getting taken down. Tried to argue his case to the ref right in front of him, but got no sympathy.
No sympathy is a common theme in the CHMA. Passanante up for Martin. A bouncing puck couldn't be settled. Nick Bruno is there. Wrestling with Martin. Passanante leaves it back. Forward back up to him now. Passanante dangles into the zone and quickly cleared out by Brombos. Apud sends it in. Colonials touch back up onside. Chirico will hold behind the net. Sends it off the boot. Kept alive the point by Isaac. Brombos is there. And sends it to the center. Getting a stick in with Sharamonte. No call. Mountaineer bench wanted a trip. Sharamonte sends it in. Brombos behind the net holding. Sends it around for Chirico. Up to the boards and cleared by Begley. Passanante skating in. Muscles one towards the net. Work its way around Brombos. Skates it up ice. Backhands it to center. Glove down by Apud. Dangerously close again there to getting called. Just maybe a half second longer. That one's probably a penalty. Grandy walks in. Swings this one out wide. Caught in the skates of a forward. To take this to the top of the circle. To the point, Bolduc. Down low, a shot. Saved by Patrick. Colonials a chance to turn the other way. Off the wall. Forward for Hurst. Hurst by himself. One-on-one with DeVoe. Escapes him. Now works his way up high. Sends it down low for Walker. Walker up high to Byrne. Byrne couldn't get a handle, and the Mountaineers can push this one toward their bench. Finnegan quickly plays it in. DeVoe underneath for Schmidt. Rolls right to the stick of Devin Rourke. Rourke walks his way behind the net. Sends it up high to Byrne. Over for Hurst. Trying to go through the middle to Rourke. Penalty coming up possibly here.
Net's off.
Net's off. The net comes off its moorings. The Colonials will keep the offensive zone draw as Fotopoulos gets a minute. He just collect himself and get the equipment fixed. The second time he's worked on that lower pad.
Don't know if it's just an old strap, so it's near the end of its life, or there's ice in it or something that's keeping it from staying strapped.
The halfway mark of the third period. 2-0 West Virginia. Samples. Crimps it clear. Rourke is there. Sends it underneath for Walker. Walker holding. Retreats up high to Byrne. Byrne, a shot muscled. Getting a piece of it was Hartz. And walk this one up ice. To center. We'll retreat this one back to Samples. Sends it in on net. Patrick with the stop. And Finnegan there. In the corner, Finnegan muscles his man into the wall. Slapped down by the Mountaineers. Samples. D to Bolduc. Sends it through everybody. There is a Mountaineer streaking the other way and almost a home run play for Dawson Taylor. Finnegan over for Reed. On the entry, the shot. Bounces through. Fotopoulos gets down and makes the save. The board's almost helping out the Colonials again.
Yeah, shot goes wide. Great bounce. Ends up making its way into the blue paint. If Fotopoulos doesn't see that, that could bounce right off his pad and go right in.
Keith Reed's been snake bitten 3 times already today. And you know that he's still looking to get something going for his team. Sunday being his last regular season game with the Colonials, as well as other members, including Draper, Byrne, Isaac, and possibly Reno Patrick. Knorr gets stripped by Moran. Isaac, a quick shot. Draper, instant block. Up high for Reed. His chance pushed wide. Dobransky keeps it in. Quickly down to Draper. Up high for Reed. His shot is blocked away. Second chance, Reed turning. This is pushed behind the net. Moran wrapping. Up high for Isaac. Steps down and keeps it in. Moran in front. Draper's shot. Rings off the back wall. Reed recollecting. Up high for Dobransky. Couldn't keep it in. Dobransky moves it quickly up for Reed. Back to Nate Isaac. Isaac to the blue line. Leaves it off for Moran. Chips it off of Isaac. Reed at the blue line. Leaves it for Isaac as a couple players behind the play on both sides going down. Chirico takes down Draper. Mountaineers quickly play it up off the boot. Turns it over to Dobransky. 8 minutes to go. Feeling like a 2-minute drill here. Passanante tries to split the defense. DeVoe tied up with Martin. Quick shot on, save, rebound, Passanante crashing the net and collides with Fotopoulos as the Mountaineers drag him out. Net back to its moorings. Play can continue on. Quick shot from West Virginia. Rolls off of Reno Patrick. Behind the net, Finnegan can't settle the puck. They approach 7:30. To the point. Quick shot on, blocked by the Colonials. As they muscle this one toward the blue line, kept alive by Schmidt. Schmidt stepping down. Keeps it in for West Virginia. Into the corner for Bruno. Battling with Dobransky. The tallest man on the ice versus the shortest man on the ice. Bruno leaves it off for Schmidt. Down low one more time for Grandy. In front. Rolls off the post. Finnegan there. Sent to the wall. Schmidt using his body along with another Mountaineer as they get tied up in that corner. West Virginia comes out with it. Back up high to the point. Grandy. Hold it. Walks his way down. Takes this one behind that, looking for some space. Sharamonte on the pressure. Provides some contact. Underneath the Begley. Round for Bruno. In front for Grandy. His stick tied up. And now the Colonials. Dobransky gets it to center. Into the zone he comes. Leaves it off for Rourke. Rourke in front. A quick shot on rebound there. Sharamonte just couldn't get there in time, and West Virginia clears the center. Quick shot on, save there by Patrick. Rebound corralled by Rourke. As the whole first line starting to make their way onto the ice. Hurst waiting for reinforcements. Leaves it for Walker. Walker swings this up high. Shovel down low to Finnegan. Winds up shot. Save there with Fotopoulos. Rolls to Shea and can get the clear to center. Down to 5:45 to go. Walker with pressure swings it around for Byrne. Byrne out wide to Rourke. Cross ice for Hurst. Hurst sends this one all the way around. Rourke first to it. Battling with Samples. Rourke splitting off the side of the net. Loose puck. Fotopoulos gets down and makes the stop as Rourke escapes a couple of Mountaineers trying to make acquaintance.
It does seem like the Colonials are on they're not their last legs, but they're on their final push. They need to quickly, and they're going all or nothing right now.
This is what you expected from the Colonials to end this game, and now a lot of nonstop hockey. Leads us to 5 minutes-ish to go. Here's Knorr. With some speed, gets it to center. Knorr down the left wall, takes this in front. Shot there, and a save by Patrick. He'll hold on, takes it down to 5-12.
Not a lot of work for Patrick so far recently. He's got to stay awake, though, because Mountaineers multiple times have just changed the tide and immediately come down and gotten a quick shot just like that. So he can't, stay out of it too much.
Mountaineers coming into the zone. Delaquandre sends it around the wall. Mountaineers in the corner, send it underneath. Looking for a man in the slot. Isaac takes away that lane. Underneath Draper. Battling with the Mountaineer. Puck springs free to center. Back is Brombos and muscles this one off of Patrick's arm. Behind the net, they'll roll. Byrne gets muscled down. A chance now for Falzer wrapping around. Patrick gets there on the stop. The blue line. Shot from Brombos. Patrick there for the save. Nate Isaac sends this up for Moran. Moran gets this one to center. Off of reach stick, couldn't settle, leaves it off for Moran on the entry. Moran holding a shot, glove save for Topless. Mountaineers and Colonials both getting some fresh troops on.
Colonials have made their way to a two-line rotation now.
Finnegan sends it along the wall. Hurst attempts to push it out, couldn't get it the full length. Up high to Grandy. Grandy in front, looks for the deflection, and goes far down on the netting above Patrick.
First line back out for the Colonials. 4 minutes to go. Need a goal every 2 minutes.
Oh boy, we're doing this again, aren't we?
To send it to overtime.
And I said Mahomes magic earlier for Fotopoulos, and the Colonials need to channel a little bit too. Sharing the same ice. Hurst chips this one forward. Mountaineers collecting in their own zone. Grandy chips it forward into the zone. Finnegan as his pass intercepted by Grandy and taps it back in, down to 3:30. Finnegan skies this one to center. Applying pressure is Walker. Couldn't get the full turnover. Shea sends it in. Patrick comes out to play it. Leaves it off for Finnegan. Finnegan muscles this one to center. Samples at his own blue line. Has his pass picked off by Hurst and just sends it into the far corner.
Finnegan got taken
Rorik
down
wrap around and a stop by Fotopoulos. And they all collapse on him as Hurst taking exception. Now Rorik getting involved. As the top players, you do not want them to head off to the box here with 3:04.
Finnegan taking it down again behind the play. Had to limp his way over to the bench yet again. Not a good sign.
Yeah. Your top defender going down is less than ideal right now for Coach Joseph's squad. That second line comes back out. Reed, Draper, Moran with a Pood and Isaac behind them. Draper to the point of Pood. Looks for the deflection. Mountaineers muscle it to the blue line. Isaac sends it underneath for Reed. Reed gets off the puck there. Mountaineers send this one the length of the ice. Back is Isaac to quickly play it up. Samples. C to D. And sent all the way down, icing. West Virginia takes it to 2:37. Team's getting vocal. Team's getting a little bit chippier as this goes on. The Mountaineers just trying to cling on to this 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
Top unit back on. As they try to get the right personnel out. Walker on the face-off. Goes into the corner. Samples can clear this the length. No icing. Finnegan is back. Finnegan probably fighting through the pain here for this last 2:30. Up quickly for Rourke through the middle of the ice. That is broken up by Knorr. Knorr swings to the outside. A shot saved by Patrick as he elects to hold on. I think that was more he just couldn't dig it out.
Yeah, I think that was the thought process by Patrick there. Is that when that shift started, he was the hash mark, so he was looking to go if the Colonials gained possession. So definitely something to keep an eye on for the rest of this shift, period, game, all of it.
You think first entry here he goes to the bench?
I think he was going if they won the faceoff. So I think it's a pretty good case.
Shot muscled toward that rebound is loose and muscles its way in. Caden Knorr finds the back of the net with 2:05 to go. His 8th of the year makes it 3-0 West Virginia.
And a little bit of a dagger there, as may not be the end of the game, but I think that takes the wind out of the sails of the Colonials, as they were looking hot, as they just couldn't find one. And now, needing to get a third one, I think it just drains their sails, drains their energy, that just as much as it was.
A lot has to happen in the next 120 seconds if the Mountaineers and the Colonials can repeat history. Sent in, offsides RMU, now onside. Miranda gets the stick in there. Up to Begley. Banks this one off the wall. Finnegan stepping up. As now into the zone comes Grandy. Sharp angle chance. That bar down's off the ceiling above us. And quickly down to 1:35.
95 seconds. The clock went down another second. 95 seconds to go in this game. Colonials, they've got to try hard. They've got to push till the end, especially when you expect to see this team in just a week's time.
A shot off the draw. That hits off of the netting, and that takes it down to 1:32. Just going off the next 92 seconds, stay the same. You remember the game against Merciers last year where Merciers went up 4-1, Colonials made it 4-3, then got the empty to make it 5-3, and then who did they meet in the first round? That exact team. And they won. In overtime. Seems like a full circle thing, doesn't it? Say the regular season don't mean crap when it comes to head-to-heads and action, because seemingly this will be a 1-1 for each team. We see that with a lot of the CHMA teams that have been very close all season long. Rourke tries to get one last chance in. This will deflect off the Colonials and down into the zone as we under a minute to go. 52 seconds on that clock now. Dobransky skates this to center. Tries to split his way in, gets muscled down hard by DeVoe. Looking underneath, wanting Rourke. Mountaineers taking their good old time trying to clear Walker. Underneath, Schmidt is there. Up to the blue line. Taylor muscles it off to Bransky. And Isaac back to retrieve, down to 20 seconds. Up for Rourke. Back draw pass to Hurst. Hurst to Rourke. Backhands wide of the net. Tyler Draper can't hold on. Down low, Rourke. Muscles one on, and a stop there by Fotopoulos, down to 5.5 ticks. And the Colonials almost sneaking one here at the end of the period.
You want to take these 5 seconds to, well, you're not going to win the game in 5 seconds. Take the wind out of the sails of the Mountaineers. If you come out this scoring the last goal, it lowers morale a little bit. And
save there by Fotopoulos, and that'll do it. Kyle Fotopoulos improves to 7-7 on the year with his first shutout, and the Mountaineers take down the Colonials 3-0 and have secured their spot as either number 4 or 5 seed in the CHMA playoffs.
Incredible game from Fotopoulos.
Say goaltending will carry you as far as you want to go, and to end what seems to probably be the end of his season till playoff time, you're going to ride a very hot goaltender come next Friday night.
Yeah, you are. And that's what the Colonials needed to put one in at the end to make him a little, I don't know, feel not as strong about his own play because he let in a late one.
Reno Patrick, the ex-West Virginia goaltender, had another phenomenal game. His 2025 has been a tale of two cities. He's almost clawed his way up to a 900 save percentage when it was at one point towards 840. It's just been remarkable. And he loves to play this team. Only lets up 3 goals here tonight. Without him, that score could have been way bigger.
That definitely.
Come playoff time, they're going to ride him as both goaltenders still under the knife in some capacity. Colburn is able to go if needed, so is McCabe. But it'll seemingly be Patrick's crease to lose. As the Mountaineers have one more game on the schedule, they'll play Mercyhurst at their rink tomorrow. But seemingly for the Mountaineers, it's just let's get ready for playoff game. As for RMU, that Mercyhurst game on Sunday just became a whole lot bigger.
Yes, it did. As now a loss could potentially see them in 6th. The win will see them in 5th and play this team.
It'll be a 4 o'clock start as we honor the seniors of the RMU Division I club hockey team, Keith Reed, Nate Isaac, Rob Byrne, Reno Patrick, and Tyler Draper for the 3rd straight year. As long as me and Andrew kind of get our own, and Nate Mauser as well, the student managers for RMU. But we have another game tomorrow.
Yes.
And guess who's playing? It's RMU in West Virginia, but it's D3.
Yep.
A lot at stake in that one, as RMU, guess what? They're fighting for 4-5 too. Oh my goodness, if they win, they clinch 4 or 5. What a shocker.
Wow.
As West Virginia D3 on the cusp of making the playoffs, a win for them would go a long way. So another very important matchup here in this Olympic ring tomorrow at 4 o'clock. But your final score tonight, West Virginia takes on RMU 3-0.